Speaking of passing tests, I wanted to update you on something. Remember about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago, I told you my daughter went in for her driver's test.
Yes.
She's turned 15. If you didn't hear this, my daughter, who is 15, my wife, about 3 weeks ago, they were planning, like, when can we go to the DMV? Because it's always, a chore to go to the DMV.
Yeah.
And one day, for whatever reason, my daughter got out of school early, and it was unexpected. Like the day before, it's like, okay, she has to get out tomorrow at 2. And my wife said, this is perfect. We can just go right to the DMV. And she said to my daughter, are you ready? Will you be able to pass the test? It was the written test. And my daughter said, oh, yeah, no problem. So on the way over, she says to her, this is 2.5 weeks ago, my wife says, now, do you need to study? Do you want last minute cramming? This wasn't expected. And my daughter said, no, I've got it. Okay. So she went, and that day, when she walked back in, I was in the living room, and I was like,
Where's the driver?
Where's the driver?
Let me see your picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did not pass the test. And
You missed too many questions, correct?
yeah, what I learned was that you get 5. There's 25 questions on the test, and you can miss 5. But once you miss 6, that's it. You're not going to get your permit.
And then I did not realize this, but you cannot retake until a certain amount of time has elapsed.
2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks. So yesterday, it is planned for my daughter to go and get her permit. She's going to retake the test. And in fact, I was told by my daughter that several people fail the first time around. And
Steve Jobs,
okay.
Stephen
Warren
Hawking.
Buffett, Hawking.
Right. They failed.
Einstein failed.
That's
Maybe not
right.
Hawking.
Einstein failed. Yeah, Hawking, he's pretty.
I don't know if he was driving.
Yeah.
We did once, didn't he?
At
Can't
one
remember
point.
when he
One
became
time.
ill.
In his college days, I believe.
College,
Stephen
yeah.
Hawking. I saw that movie about his life. But anyway, my daughter said, let's not forget, many people failed the
Abe
first
Lincoln,
time.
George
Abe-
Washington.
Yes.
Yep, they didn't drive for a while.
She also said, let's not forget, this doesn't define me or who I am, to which I was just laughed, Okay. All right, fine. So yesterday was the day they were going back to pass the test and get the
From what you
permit.
have seen, Kelly, in the interim, the 2 weeks since she took, have you noticed your daughter studying more?
I have not noticed her studying it at all. But my wife, many days, would quiz her. She'd say, we're going back there. You're studying, right? Yes, I'm studying. I've got it now. I've got it. That was thrust upon me.
Is there still a booklet, or is it all online?
I believe
the material.
There's a booklet, because on the trip over, my wife said, study your booklet. And my daughter said, I don't need to. It's fine. Okay, so yesterday
All right, big
was
day.
the day she was going to the DMV. Now, the last time around, they went ahead and took her picture and got her forms filled out and everything. So my wife shows up at 4, she got there at 3:45. Now, this is the DMV. And they don't do any tests after 4:15. So my wife's number is called at 4:12. And she walks up and she says she's here for her test. And the woman says, oh, sweetheart, we ain't got but 3 minutes. Now, she ain't going to take that test in 3 minutes. You can't do it. Can't do it. And
you see Reggie over there, he grades the test. Now, he ain't going to grade that test.
going home.
He's going to leave.
He's going home.
Look, he's packing his pail. Look at him. He got his lunch.
So my wife said, now, you told us to be here between 3:30 and 4, which she was. She was there at 3:45, and I got her out of school, and we raced over here, and it is a chore for us to get here.
Uh-oh.
And she went a little Karen on her.
Yeah, that's not the place to do it.
Karen button to press?
Yeah.
Karen, they almost pressed the Karen button.
Yeah.
Because you know how they'll do it at the DMV.
That activates all the cameras.
Right. I was told this later. So my wife went on her a little bit of a rant there, and the woman said, but we got to take her picture and get all her papers. And my wife said, no, we took the picture 2 weeks ago. You filled out the paperwork 2 weeks ago. And the woman said, all right, we're going to let her take the test.
Wow.
Okay? We're going to let her take the test. So she took the test. That's all I knew. I didn't know even that until later. So yesterday, about 5 o'clock, they walk in. I say, we've got a new driver in the house.
Yes, sir. Big day.
She came around the corner, my daughter, and she said, I didn't pass.
What?
And I said, It's a joke. I know you're pulling one on Dad.
Show me a picture.
That's a good one.
I go give her a hug. My wife comes in. I took one look at her face, and I realized this is not a joke. This is real life scenario.
Yeah, face don't lie.
No, face don't lie. And I said, what happened? And she goes, it's important to remember some people are poor at testing, and this does not define who I am as a person.
But it does as a driver.
Yes.
It defines exactly who you are as a driver.
Yes. Yes. And I said, how did this happen? Well, here's the thing.
Do you know the numbers? Did you get raw numbers?
Yes, I got raw numbers. I didn't realize this the first time around. The test is digital. And as you miss, you see, it tells you immediately you've gotten it right or you've missed it.
Okay.
Last time she got to number 17 of 25, and that was her 6th miss. Okay, so
so she never even got.
So you don't even get
to the end.
No, I didn't realize that. So last time at number 17, she missed. That was her 6th miss, and that was it. Okay, so she told me that, and I said, "Well, how many did you get to this time around?" And she said, 15. And I was like, "You're going backwards. Going backward."
Now listen. This is just like the movie License to Drive.
Yes.
Starring the Coreys.
Okay.
So what happens is Corey
Haim.
The other one that's not the one that's dead.
The other one wears sunglasses at night.
Haim. Yeah.
Remember, he takes the driving test on the computer.
Yes.
And he fails.
Yes.
He fails, but the computers melt down. So I think what we need to do next time is we need to have a plant in the DMV.
Pull the plug on the
So
computer.
when if she goes to fail and fails again, we'll pull the plug and say, what can we do? We got to pass her.
Give it to her. She's going the wrong direction. And I kept thinking it was a joke. And my wife said, look at my face. This is not a joke.
She missed 6 out of 15.
She missed 6 out of 15. She only got...
That's 9 and 6.
She has 9 and 6. Last time she was 11 and 6. This time she's 9 and 6. She's going worse. She's going to miss the playoffs.
9 and 6.
9 and 6 is not even a wild card.
You may have a chance at the wild card.
She's a sweet girl, but I don't have high hopes for number 3.
I don't have high hopes for her either. And now, guess what my wife ended with? Next time,
you're taking
her.
I've been there twice.
That's right. So I was like,
I'm not going thrice.
Come on.
Do we know the nature of the questions where the errors are occurring? I
don't. It's
repeats?
No, this time she said there were a lot of new questions. There were a lot of different.
There's like 100 questions in the book.
And they
There's only so many
they
questions.
Choose 25. And they
choose, what is this? What is the right of way here?
They do the
what do you do at a railroad crossing that's unmarked?
Yeah.
But there are a bunch more questions in the book. You just don't know which ones are going to be on that test.
Okay.
The 25.
She said these were a lot different.
Yeah, they're going to be different every time.
And I said, well, sweetheart, that's right.
Have you, Kelly, been behind the wheel when she's practicing?
I have.
How is she behind the wheel, off the grid?
Better. Although she almost plowed over a mailbox once. Now, I'll say that. She had to slam on the brakes. She's a lot like my son, very nervous. You know how it is.
Timid.
I would say pretty normal for a 15-year-old. I mean, she's never driven anything.
Right.
Okay.
She's not going to go out there and make 6 mistakes, is she?
I'm a little concerned.
That's a lot of pressure when you're taking a test and you can see how many you've missed and you've got 10 left.
Yeah, and you've already missed
10 to go.
And you got one more miss.
And Reggie's just over there looking at the clock.
Yeah, Reggie's over there picking his teeth, looking at his watch. I told my wife I'd be home for supper.
Reggie said you missed another one.
That's it. As soon as the red light comes on, Reggie gets up and leaves.
That's embarrassment. They should put it up on a big screen so
should.
everybody can watch while they're in the waiting room.
Right.
Gives you something to do.
Mike, you have a comment about the driving test? Go ahead.
I do. I have 2 daughters and passed the test the first time, but my middle one failed it twice.
Okay.
Just to give you a little hope.
Yeah.
Now that my kids are both in their mid 20s to late 20s, my oldest one that passed the test the first time, she's been in multiple accidents. Most were caused by herself.
Okay.
And the other one is an absolutely perfect driver.
Okay. That does give me some hope. The one that failed the test is the perfect driver. Thank you, Mike.
Yeesh.
Appreciate that.
Some people are book smart.
Some.
Can take a test.
Some. Another Mike with a DMV test update. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, when she takes the test, there's 3 possible answers for each question. One's just stupid. And so now you're down to a 50-50 shot. And then you don't have to answer it. You can skip the question. It'll come back once you skip so many of them. So that's, if you just answer them in a row, there's a greater chance you're going to fail.
Okay. She may not know that.
Wow, that's inside the
You
numbers
can
there.
skip, and more questions will
I bet
come.
it doesn't say you can skip.
I bet it doesn't either.
No.
Or if it does, she doesn't think.
Or at least you get to see to the end.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you, Mike. I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Give her that tip. Scott has a test tip as well. Scott, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm a truck driver and I have to take the hazmat test.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say the same thing the last guy said. There is a skip button.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're not getting ones you don't know wrong. You can always go back to them.
Okay.
It gives you a better chance. At least you get to the end of the test and you can go back and guess the ones you missed.
I like that.
How hard is the hazmat test?
I'm not a good test taker, but common sense.
It's important to know this does not define him. This does not define
It's the
Scott.
same thing as the regular test, but you have to wear the white suit when you
right,
take it.
Yeah. It's very difficult. Writing with that thing on. Thank you, Scott.
While sirens go off.
Heather, one more quick call on the driver test. Go ahead.
So my daughter is also 15. She has failed the test twice.
Yes.
And now says she doesn't want to go back to take it, but yet we can't get a license without a permit.
That's true.
Most of the questions that she failed were the ones with how many points are you going to get on your license if you do this or if you do that, and you only get 5 skips.
Okay.
Ah,
So you only skip.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, you only get 5 skips, and her last test she got to 23.
Okay. That's beating us by a sight.
So close.
We're down at 15 now. We got 17 and 15, and you're up at 23. Good luck to you next time around. I'll probably see you in there. I'll say hey.
What you guys think up? What date you going to take her, Kelly?
When you go? Well, 2 weeks. 2 more weeks until I get to go.
Because it sounds like it's in your hands now.
It does.
Did you know that they did the points on the license questions?
She told me they're.
That's new to me.
She told me they're on there. Now I don't remember. I mean, I
I don't remember if they were on there or not.
I remember hearing about it. I don't know if they were on the test or not. And there were some insurance questions she missed.
Really?
Too. Like whose insurance pays if this happens, that kind of thing. Yeah. Sonny, you're talking about these test
Nobody's.
Since
Yeah, let's not even get into
no one
insurance.
has insurance.
I've
so-
had a little glimpse into Biggie's world this week. I had to go to the doctor
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I got an email from the company saying, "We processed your claim, and it doesn't look good." Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Whose insurance pays? No one.
Is that one of the choices on the test? The insurance. It's a racket. I'll take that one.
What'd you go to the doctor for? That should be the first thing.
What are
they
you,
ask.
sick?
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
wasn't feeling well. I thought I'd go to the doctor.
Why? Why would
you
you
have
do that?
audacity to go?
Sonny, one more about test questions on the DMV on the driving test. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris Kelly, I got a daughter that's right about the same age as yours. She just turned 15 not too long ago, and she ran across the same thing. She told me the questions, I mean, half of them don't have anything to do with driving. It's about insurance points. And, you know, if you get a DUI, you know, how many points is that on your insurance? I mean, it's stuff that we would not know, you know, unless we, like, studied the manual. But so she failed the first time as well, just like your daughter. She did pass the second time, but she said that when she went in there, the smartest guy in their high school, everybody thinks, oh, this kid's going to be valedictorian. He failed on his first try.
Okay, that gives me some hope. Thank you, son. I'm glad you called. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate all this. She did tell me a lot of the questions were insurance points, that kind of stuff.
I don't get that.
But she should know it because
It's in the book.
She's got all the
You should
questions.
still know.
Yeah, she's got all the questions. Exactly.